Today we're diving into the extraordinary and controversial life of Hollywood's original blonde bombshell, Jayne Mansfield. From her humble beginnings in Pennsylvania to her rise as a global icon, Jayne's story is one of ambition, glamour, and undeniable charisma. But her journey wasn't without struggles, marked by tragedy, scandal, and a relentless pursuit of fame. Join us as we uncover the fascinating highs and heartbreaking lows of a star who redefined Hollywood's golden era and left an indelible mark on pop culture history. Childhood and family. Jayne Mansfield, born Vera Jane Palmer on April 19, 1933, in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, was the only child of Herbert William Palmer, a successful attorney, and Vera Jeffrey Palmer, a former schoolteacher. Her early years were filled with love and comfort, and Jayne shared a particularly close relationship with her father, who lovingly called her Daddy's darling. She fondly remembered the joy of those times, describing her family as happy and harmonious. Herbert's success as a lawyer allowed the Palmers to live comfortably in a middle-class neighborhood, where Jayne enjoyed the kind of security and stability that she would later seek to recreate in her own life. However, this blissful existence came to an abrupt and devastating end in 1936, when Herbert suffered a fatal heart attack while driving the family up a steep hill. Jayne, just 3 years old at the time, later recalled the tragic moment with vivid detail. "We were laughing and joking, and then Daddy just fell over. He was gone just like that." The sudden loss of her father left a deep emotional scar. Jayne often said that the rain that began to fall as the family wept seemed to mirror her own sorrow and haunted her memories for years. After her father's death, Jayne's mother struggled to rebuild their lives. In 1939, Vera remarried Harry Lawrence Piers, a sales engineer, and the family relocated to Dallas, Texas. This move marked a turning point in young Jayne's life as she had to adapt to a new environment and the presence of a stepfather. While Vera tried to provide stability, Jayne later admitted that her father's absence left a void that no one could truly fill. Despite the challenges, Jayne's natural talents and lively imagination began to shine during her childhood. She excelled in the arts, taking lessons in ballet, piano, and violin. She also loved painting and storytelling, often entertaining herself and her peers with elaborate performances. Her admiration for Shirley Temple, the reigning child star of the era, fueled her dreams of stardom. Jayne spent hours mimicking Temple's on-screen antics and practicing dramatic poses in front of mirrors, confidently proclaiming to anyone who would listen, "I'm going to be a movie star someday." Her confidence was not without foundation. Jayne possessed a remarkable charisma even as a child, captivating teachers and classmates with her charm and theatrical flair. However, life in Texas was not always easy for Jayne, who found the slow-paced Southern lifestyle uninspiring. She longed for excitement and believed that Hollywood, with its glamorous allure, was her destiny. Physically, Jayne began to stand out among her peers at an early age. By the time she was 10, she had matured rapidly, requiring her first bra, a moment that signaled her early development and foreshadowed the physical attributes that would later define her career. Though her burgeoning beauty attracted attention, it also set her apart, making her feel different from the other girls. This combination of precocious talent, striking appearance, and personal loss shaped Jayne's formative years and fueled her drive to succeed. Jayne's early ambition was matched by her determination. She reportedly told her mother at a young age that she would someday own the biggest house in Hollywood. While her stepfather encouraged her to focus on practical aspirations, Jayne remained steadfast in her belief that fame and fortune awaited her. This single-minded pursuit of stardom became a defining feature of her personality, one that would propel her to great heights, but also contribute to the complexities of her later life. Career. Jayne Mansfield's relentless pursuit of stardom began with beauty pageants and small modeling gigs, where her bold personality and striking looks immediately set her apart. Her ambition and charm drove her to enter over 30 beauty contests, winning titles like Miss Fire Prevention and Miss Texas Tomato. While these pageants may have seemed trivial to some, they were strategic stepping stones for Jayne, who knew the power of being noticed. She often said, "I'll do anything to get publicity," a mantra that would define much of her career. In 1954, Jayne moved to California with her husband Paul Mansfield and their young daughter. Her charm and persistence earned her a screen test at Paramount, but her initial efforts in Hollywood did not yield immediate results. Early on, Jayne worked as a model and took small roles in B-movies. Her first credited film appearance came in Female Jungle, 1955, a low-budget noir that showcased her striking presence but did little to highlight her talent. Around this time, she also posed for Playboy, a bold move that garnered attention and controversy. Her semi-nude photos in the magazine helped her become a public figure, though they also sparked criticism, including from her then-husband Paul, who used them as grounds in their custody battle. Jayne's big break came not in Hollywood, but on Broadway. In 1955, she landed the role of Rita Marlowe, a caricatured blonde bombshell, in the comedy Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter. Her comedic timing and self-awareness shone in the role, earning her critical acclaim and public adoration. The play's success proved that Jayne was more than just a pretty face. She had genuine comedic talent and a magnetic stage presence. Her performance on Broadway caught the attention of 20th Century Fox, which signed her to a long-term contract in 1956. The studio, eager to find a replacement for Marilyn Monroe, who was increasingly at odds with Fox, saw Jayne as the perfect candidate. To further solidify her image, they encouraged her to dye her hair platinum blonde, accentuating her curvaceous figure and vivacious persona. Jayne eagerly embraced this transformation, understanding the value of playing the role of the blonde bombshell to perfection. Jayne's breakout role in Hollywood came in The Girl Can't Help It, 1956, a Technicolor musical comedy that showcased her comedic talents and on-screen charisma. Directed by Frank Tashlin, the film became a critical and commercial success, catapulting Jayne into stardom. Her role as Jerry Jordan, a mobster's girlfriend being groomed for stardom, was both a satire of Hollywood culture and a celebration of her own glamorous persona. The film featured appearances by rock and roll legends like Little Richard and Eddie Cochran, further cementing its place in pop culture history. Following the success of The Girl Can't Help It, Jayne reprised her role as Rita Marlowe in the film adaptation of Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter, 1957. Her performance was praised for its wit and charm, proving that Jayne could successfully bring her Broadway energy to the big screen. Around the same time, she starred in Kiss Them For Me, 1957, alongside Cary Grant, a film that allowed her to explore more dramatic acting, though it received mixed reviews. While Jayne was celebrated for her on-screen work, she was equally famous for her off-screen antics and publicity stunts. From wearing daringly low-cut dresses to accidentally losing parts of her wardrobe at press events, Jayne knew how to keep herself in the headlines. One of her most iconic moments came in 1957 when she attended a party honoring Italian actress Sophia Loren. Photographs from the event captured Jayne's plunging neckline, stealing the spotlight, much to Loren's dismay. The image became one of the most enduring snapshots of 1950s Hollywood glamour and controversy. Despite her success in the late 1950s, Jayne's career began to decline in the early 1960s. The public's interest in the blonde bombshell archetype waned, and Jayne struggled to adapt to the changing tastes of Hollywood. Her films, including The Sheriff of Fractured Jaw, 1958, failed to resonate with audiences, and her contract with 20th Century Fox was eventually terminated. Nevertheless, Jayne remained a popular figure, performing in nightclub acts and stage productions around the world. Her vibrant personality and tireless work ethic ensured that she continued to draw large crowds. In 1963, Jayne made headlines again by becoming the first major American actress to appear nude in a leading role for the film Promises, Promises. The movie, though controversial and banned in several cities, was a box office hit, showcasing Jayne's willingness to take risks and push boundaries. However, the film also marked a turning point in her career, as her focus shifted increasingly toward exploitation films and low-budget European productions. Jayne's later years were marked by a mix of professional struggles and personal challenges. Despite her declining fame, she continued to perform in nightclubs and smaller films, always striving to remain in the public eye. She even released singles and albums in multiple languages, showcasing her musical talents. However, her reliance on publicity stunts and provocative roles limited her ability to be taken seriously as an actress, overshadowing her early accomplishments. By the mid-1960s, Jayne's career had largely shifted to Europe, where she appeared in films like Too Hot to Handle, 1960, and The Challenge, 1960. These productions, while low budget, allowed her to maintain her status as an international celebrity. Her final major role came in Single Room Furnished, 1966, a dramatic film directed by her third husband, Matt Cimber. The film, though not widely released until after her death, was a departure from her usual roles, allowing her to demonstrate her range as an actress. Scandals. Jayne Mansfield was as famous for her controversies as she was for her talent and beauty. Throughout her career, she cultivated a bold and provocative image that challenged the conservative norms of the 1950s and 1960s Hollywood. While these controversies often kept her in the headlines, they also overshadowed her genuine skills as an actress, musician, and comedian. Jayne was a master of the publicity stunt, fully aware that in Hollywood, being talked about was almost as important as being talented. She frequently pushed the boundaries of propriety with her risque outfits and audacious public appearances. One of her most infamous moments came in 1957 at a party thrown in honor of Italian actress Sophia Loren. Jayne wore a plunging, form-fitting gown that left little to the imagination. A now iconic photograph from the event shows Loren casting a side-eye glance at Jayne's exposed cleavage, encapsulating the tension between the two actresses. The photo became an enduring image of 1950s Hollywood glamour and scandal, cementing Jayne's reputation as a star who could steal the spotlight anywhere she went. Jayne also became notorious for her wardrobe malfunctions, which many suspected were deliberately staged. Whether it was a spaghetti strap breaking at the perfect moment, or her top slipping off in a pool surrounded by photographers, Jayne's mishaps often made front-page news. These incidents, though criticized by some as tasteless, were a calculated part of her strategy to remain relevant in a competitive industry. In 1963, Jayne Mansfield became the first major American actress to appear nude in a lead role in the film Promises. Promises. The film's plot was secondary to its provocative marketing, which centered on Jayne's daring decision to shed her clothes on screen. While Promises was a box office success, it sparked outrage among conservative audiences and led to legal battles over obscenity. Playboy published stills from the film in its June 1963 issue, further stoking controversy. Hugh Hefner, the magazine's founder, faced legal challenges in Chicago as authorities deemed the photos indecent. The film was banned in several cities, including Cleveland, but its notoriety only added to Jayne's allure as a daring and unapologetic star. Jayne's personal life was equally scandalous, marked by a series of high-profile relationships and rumored affairs. Most sensationally, she was romantically linked to both President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert F. Kennedy. While these alleged liaisons were never publicly confirmed, they added to Jayne's mystique and further fueled tabloid speculation. Her relationships with Italian producer Enrico Bomba and singer Nelson Sardelli also made headlines, as did her tumultuous affair with her divorce lawyer, Sam Brody. Brody's controlling and abusive behavior, combined with their volatile dynamic, only added to the drama surrounding Jayne's life. One of the most bizarre and enduring controversies of Jayne's life was her association with Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan. Jayne met LaVey in 1966 during a visit to San Francisco, where she attended one of his events. Their relationship, which some described as a friendship and others as a flirtation, was rife with rumors and sensational stories. Photographs of Jayne participating in satanic rituals with LaVey, including images of her lying on a tiger skin rug during ceremonies, fueled speculation that she had become deeply involved in his church. LaVey himself stoked the rumors, claiming that he and Jayne shared a close bond and that she saw him as her protector. He also insisted that he had placed a curse on Sam Brody after Brody mocked his beliefs during a visit to LaVey's infamous Black House. According to LaVey, the curse foretold Brody's death within a year, a prediction that eerily coincided with a car accident that claimed both Brody's and Jayne's lives in 1967. While skeptics dismissed the curse as a publicity stunt, it remains one of the more macabre elements of Jayne's legacy. The media played a significant role in amplifying the controversy surrounding Jayne's life. Her every move, from her wardrobe choices to her romantic escapades, was dissected in tabloids, often with little regard for accuracy or nuance. Journalists frequently portrayed her as a superficial dumb blonde, ignoring her intelligence, musical talents, and comedic abilities. Even after her tragic death, sensational stories continued to circulate, including the false claim that she had been decapitated in the car crash that killed her. Jayne's willingness to embrace controversy and defy societal expectations made her a trailblazer, though it came at a cost. Critics often dismissed her as a Marilyn Monroe imitator or a publicity-seeking starlet, overlooking the depth of her talents and the challenges she faced in a male-dominated industry. However, Jayne's unapologetic approach to her career also paved the way for future generations of women in Hollywood, particularly those who sought to own their sexuality and defy conventional norms. While her controversies often overshadowed her accomplishments, they also ensured her lasting fame. Jayne Mansfield remains an icon of 20th century pop culture, remembered as much for her daring spirit as for her beauty and talent. Her life, filled with highs and lows, continues to captivate audiences, proving that she was far more complex than the caricature the media often presented. Marriage. Jayne Mansfield's personal life was as eventful and dramatic as her career, with her 3 marriages reflecting the complexities of her ambition, relationships, and fame. Each marriage brought moments of passion, turmoil, and ultimately heartbreak, mirroring the glamorous yet tumultuous trajectory of her professional life. Jayne's first marriage was to Paul Mansfield, a college student she met while attending Highland Park High School in Dallas, Texas. At just 16 years old, Jayne eloped with Paul, who was 4 years her senior. Their marriage began in secrecy, as Jayne continued living with her mother and stepfather while completing high school. However, their union was revealed when Jayne became pregnant with their daughter, Jayne Marie Mansfield, born on November 8, 1950. The news initially upset Jayne's mother, who warned her that she had ruined both their lives, but she later supported the couple with a modest wedding ceremony. The early years of their marriage were marked by financial struggles. Jayne and Paul worked multiple jobs to make ends meet while pursuing their education. Jayne peddled photo albums door to door, while Paul took odd jobs, including selling magazines and sweeping floors. Despite their hardships, Jayne remained determined to chase her dream of stardom, enrolling in drama classes at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, and later at the University of California, Los Angeles. Her relentless ambition soon became a source of tension in their marriage. Paul hoped their family life would ground Jayne and temper her drive, but her aspirations only grew stronger. In 1954, Jayne convinced Paul to move with her and their daughter to Los Angeles so she could pursue acting full-time. While Paul initially supported her, the couple's relationship began to unravel as Jayne's career gained momentum. Her risque photo shoots, such as her appearance in Playboy, and her willingness to embrace the provocative blonde bombshell image caused friction in their marriage. Paul, feeling sidelined and uncomfortable with Jayne's rising fame, gave her an ultimatum: choose her career or their marriage. Jayne's decision was clear. They separated in 1955 and officially divorced in 1958. Despite their differences, Jayne kept Mansfield as her professional surname, as it had become synonymous with her public persona. The custody battle over their daughter, Jayne Marie, further strained their relationship, with Paul often accusing Jayne of being an unfit mother, claims that were never substantiated. Jayne's second marriage was to Mickey Hargitay, a Hungarian-born bodybuilder and actor who won the title of Mr. Universe in 1955. The couple met in 1956 at the Latin Quarter nightclub in New York City, where Mickey was performing as part of Mae West's revue. Jayne was instantly captivated by Mickey's chiseled physique and charm, and their romance quickly blossomed. However, their relationship got off to a rocky start due to West's jealousy and a physical altercation between Mickey and another performer. Despite the drama, Mickey proposed to Jayne with a $5,000 10-carat diamond ring in November 1957, and they were married on January 13, 1958, at the Wayfarers Chapel in Palos Verdes, California. Their marriage was celebrated as a match made in Hollywood, with the couple frequently appearing together at events and in films. Jayne and Mickey shared a glamorous public image, often photographed with their 3 children: Miklos Jr., born 1958, Zoltan, born 1960, and Mariska, born 1964. They collaborated professionally as well, co-starring in films such as Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter and appearing in television specials like The Bob Hope Show. Mickey also managed Jayne's career at times and supported her nightclub performances, where she continued to draw large crowds. However, beneath their glittering facade, their marriage faced significant challenges. Mickey reportedly grew frustrated with Jayne's relentless pursuit of publicity, including her infamous wardrobe malfunctions and provocative stunts. Jayne's infidelities, including her rumored affair with Italian producer Enrico Bomba, further strained their relationship. The couple's differing priorities became increasingly apparent. Mickey sought a stable family life, while Jayne remained focused on maintaining her celebrity status. Their marriage officially ended in divorce in 1964, though Mickey continued to be involved in their children's lives. Their youngest daughter, Mariska Hargitay, would go on to achieve fame as an actress, most notably in her role as Olivia Benson on Law & Order, SVU. Jayne's third and final marriage was to Matt Cimber, an Italian-born director whose real name was Thomas Vitale Ottaviano. The two met when Cimber directed Jayne in a stage production of Bus Stop in Yonkers, New York. Impressed by her performance, Cimber encouraged Jayne to take on more dramatic roles, hoping to showcase her depth as an actress. They married on September 24, 1964, in Baja California, Mexico, shortly after the birth of Jayne's fifth child, Antonio "Tony" Clymer. Initially, Cimber played a significant role in managing Jayne's career, steering her toward more serious projects. He directed her in Single Room Furnished, 1966, a low-budget drama that required Jayne to portray three distinct characters. While the film allowed Jayne to display her acting range, it was not widely released until after her death. Despite their professional collaboration, their marriage was fraught with difficulties. Jayne's struggles with alcohol, her reliance on diet pills, and her public affairs, including her lingering attachment to singer Nelson Sardelli, created tension between the couple. Cimber reportedly grew disillusioned with Jayne's declining career and increasingly erratic behavior. The couple separated in 1965, and their divorce proceedings began the following year. By the time of Jayne's death in 1967, their marriage had effectively ended, though they were still legally married. Other relationships. Jayne Mansfield's romantic life outside of her marriages was as dramatic and multifaceted as her career. Her relationships, often high-profile and tumultuous, reflected her ongoing search for love, stability, and validation in a life dominated by fame and public scrutiny. While some of these connections brought moments of joy and companionship, many were fraught with controversy and emotional upheaval, leaving a lasting mark on her personal and professional life. One of Jayne's most notable relationships was with Nelson Sardelli, an Italian-born singer and actor. Sardelli, known for his smooth voice and good looks, seemed to embody the glamour and charm that Jayne was drawn to. Their relationship began in the early 1960s, during Jayne's turbulent marriage to Mickey Hargitay, and quickly became the subject of tabloid speculation. Jayne and Sardelli's romance was passionate but short-lived, with Sardelli reportedly struggling to handle the intense public attention that came with dating one of Hollywood's most famous women. Despite their eventual breakup, Sardelli remained an important figure in Jayne's life, with Jayne reportedly telling friends that Sardelli was one of the few men who truly understood her. Jayne's relationship with Sam Brody, her divorce lawyer, was among the most controversial and damaging of her life. The two became romantically involved in the mid-1960s, during the breakdown of Jayne's marriage to Matt Cimber. Initially, Brody seemed to offer Jayne emotional support, but their relationship quickly took a darker turn. Brody was known for his controlling and jealous behavior, which often led to volatile arguments. Friends and colleagues of Jayne later described Brody as emotionally abusive, accusing him of exploiting Jayne's vulnerabilities. During a period when her career was in decline, their relationship was also marked by a series of bizarre and unsettling incidents. Brody reportedly grew jealous of Jayne's friendship with Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, and frequently clashed with LaVey during their encounters. According to LaVey, Brody's mocking behavior toward the church and its rituals led him to place a curse on Brody, predicting that he would die within a year. While skeptics dismissed the curse as a publicity stunt, the eerie coincidence of Brody's death alongside Jayne in a car accident less than a year later added to the mystique surrounding their tumultuous relationship. Jayne's association with Anton LaVey remains one of the most unusual and intriguing aspects of her personal life. The two met in 1966 during a visit to San Francisco, where Jayne attended a performance by LaVey's Church of Satan. Jayne, who was known for her love of the unconventional, was reportedly fascinated by LaVey's theatricality and philosophical approach to individualism and self-empowerment. Their connection quickly became the subject of rumors, with tabloids speculating that Jayne had become romantically involved with LaVey or even joined his church. Photographs of Jayne participating in satanic rituals, including images of her lying on tiger skin rugs and wearing ceremonial robes, only fueled the speculation. However, both Jayne and LaVey denied any romantic involvement, with Jayne insisting that she was a devout Catholic who found LaVey to be a genius and an interesting person. Despite the rumors, their relationship appeared to be rooted more in mutual respect and a shared understanding of the power of publicity than in any deeper connection. In addition to her well-documented romances, Jayne was frequently linked to a variety of high-profile figures, including President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert F. Kennedy. While these alleged affairs have never been substantiated, they became a significant part of the mythology surrounding Jayne's life. Jayne's openness about her sexuality and willingness to embrace her role as a blonde bombshell made her a magnet for attention, both wanted and unwanted. Jayne's circle of admirers also included wealthy businessmen, actors, and musicians, many of whom were drawn to her charisma and magnetic personality. However, these relationships often ended in disappointment, as Jayne's intense ambition and larger-than-life persona made it difficult for her to find lasting stability. Her relationships were further complicated by the pressures of fame, which frequently exposed her private life to public scrutiny and sensationalism. Jayne Mansfield's relationships outside of her marriages highlight the complexities of her personal life. Beneath her glamorous exterior was a woman searching for connection and stability in a world that often prioritized her image over her humanity. While some of her relationships brought moments of joy and companionship, many were marked by turbulence, betrayal, and heartbreak. Jayne's willingness to embrace love even in the face of adversity was both a testament to her resilience and a reflection of the emotional void left by her father's early death. Jayne Mansfield's vibrant and controversial life came to a devastating end in the early hours of June 29, 1967. She was en route to New Orleans for an appearance on a local television show, traveling in a 1966 Buick Electra with her lawyer and romantic partner, Sam Brody, their driver, Ronnie Harrison, and her three youngest children, Miklos, Zoltan, and Mariska Hargitay. Around 2 a.m., while driving along U.S. Highway 90 near Slidell, Louisiana, their car collided with the rear of a semi-truck that had slowed due to a fogging machine spraying mosquito repellent. The top of the Buick was sheared off as it slid under the truck's trailer, killing Jayne, Brody, and Harrison instantly. Miraculously, the three children in the back seat, who were lying down and asleep at the time, survived with minor injuries. The tragedy shocked the world and spurred sensational headlines. Initial reports claimed that Jayne had been decapitated in the crash, a gruesome and unfounded rumor fueled by photographs of the accident scene showing a blonde wig among the wreckage. In reality, the coroner's report clarified that her death was caused by severe head trauma, including a crushed skull, and that there was a partial scalping but no decapitation. The persistence of the decapitation myth remains one of the many morbid details that have shrouded her death in mystery and misinformation. Jayne Mansfield's tragic death had far-reaching consequences beyond the grief it brought to her family and fans. The accident highlighted the dangers of underride collisions in which smaller vehicles slide beneath larger trucks. In response to the crash, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, introduced new safety regulations for semi-trucks, including the requirement of steel bars at the rear of trailers to prevent similar accidents. These bars, colloquially known as Mansfield bars, have since become a standard feature on trucks, saving countless lives by reducing the likelihood of underride crashes. Jayne's death also became the subject of eerie speculation, particularly regarding her association with Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan. LaVey had reportedly placed a curse on Sam Brody earlier that year, after Brody mocked his beliefs and rituals. Some fans and tabloids speculated that the curse had inadvertently caused Jayne's death as well. While these rumors have been widely dismissed as coincidental or fabricated, they added a layer of macabre intrigue to an already sensational story. LaVey himself claimed to have foreseen Jayne's death in a chilling coincidence. While clipping a newspaper article about Marilyn Monroe late on the night of the accident, he accidentally cut through a photograph of Jayne in a way that appeared to sever her head from her body. The morbid fascination with Jayne's death extended to pop culture, with her accident inspiring elements in films and literature. David Cronenberg's 1996 film Crash explored themes of eroticism and mortality through celebrity car accidents, referencing figures like Jayne Mansfield and James Dean. The decapitation myth, while debunked, became an enduring part of her legacy, contributing to the mystique surrounding her life and death. Outro: Jayne Mansfield's life was a whirlwind of talent, ambition, and boldness, a legacy that continues to captivate the world even decades after her untimely death. Her name remains synonymous with Hollywood glamour, controversy, and resilience, proving that her story is far more than what tabloids and headlines could ever capture. Thank you for joining us on this journey into her life. If you enjoyed exploring the legacy of Jayne Mansfield and want more stories from Hollywood's golden age, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, take care and keep the legends alive.